Good evening and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show here on Bay County TV. Jeff Dode and TJ Newsham along with you. We have got ourselves a great fun matchup. Girls varsity basketball, Garber and Birch Run.
I tell you what, we were here a couple weeks ago for Garber and Carleton, but this is the premier matchup. Birch Run has had the best player in the league for the last 3 years, now that she's a senior. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Dukes can do as a team to collectively hold her in check, but also keep their lead in the Tri-Valley.
I think that Coach Klein is going to have to do a mixture of things. I think and hope that she feels early on that they're going to be able to score enough, but they actually have got to score points to be successful to set up what is a great full court press.
Right. When they score, when they get layups or jump shots, and they're able to set up their defense, it allows their transition defense to create the transition offense. We watched them a couple weeks ago where they were putting the ball all over the place and getting steals from Carleton, but tonight is going to be more important about finishing. We talked about key words. Tonight for them is going to be finishing from beginning to end. If they can get the layups and they get the jump shots, the open jump shots, they're going to have a lot more chance of success.
And there's about 5 or 6 girls on this team for Garber that on any given night can step up. Obviously, Ellie Klein is the leading scorer, but there's other people that certainly can make it happen as well offensively.
I like reading their box score, their storyline from MLive, and I like it because it's not always Ellie. Ellie is obviously the main scoring component of the team, but Baranski can score, Yachak can score. We watched the freshman Walker. And there's 2 of them, so either one of them can score. But they have options as far as the scoring goes, but it's really going to be at the end of the day about their defense. What can they do defensively?
Team speed defensively is a pretty accurate assessment for what you see from the Garber Lady Dukes.
It is, and tonight I think we want to make sure that we're focusing on, and I say we as in Coach Klein, focusing on making sure they're getting their traps set correctly, making sure that they're fundamentally rotating through, so the steal attempts are going to be more prevalent tonight than they were a couple weeks ago.
When you trap, it is extremely important to stay vertical, not to reach, not to grab, not to bring your hands in. That's a bailout call for an official to be able to make an easy call. So if they actually get that trap and they stay vertical and they move their feet defensively, I think they can get some easy baskets tonight.
Oh, I think so. And as long as they're actually using the sidelines, the division line, make sure they're using those to their advantage, I don't think there's going to be any question that they're going to have the team speed to get to that spot. But make sure that they hold it. Like I said, just stay vertical. Why work harder than you have to when you're already there?
It seems so simple, Coach.
Well, I tell you what, now that I'm on the officiating side of things and the striped shirts, I can honestly say, don't make it easy for us.
Indeed, should be a lot of fun. The first of 2 games tonight. It is Coach Klein and the Lady Dukes winner entertaining the Birch Run Panthers. Back for all the game action in just a moment, and an interview with Coach Klein here on our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV.
At Covenant Healthcare, we lead with the most advanced technology. We lead with the most experienced, comprehensive medical and surgical teams. We lead with partnerships to teach our future doctors, and with organizations who help us bring world-renowned care close to home. We lead because our patients are at the center of everything we do. Covenant Healthcare, extraordinary care for every generation.
Good evening and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and TJ Newsham along with the head basketball coach of the Garber Lady Dukes, Kim Klein. Welcome, Coach.
I'm glad you guys are here, and thank you.
Well, we're excited to be here, and coming off our last visit here, a huge win against Carleton. You face just a little bit of a different challenge tonight with this Birch Run club.
We sure do. They're a tough team, and frankly, we have not managed to beat them. So it's as much a mental challenge, I think, at this point as it is a physical challenge, but I really think if we can figure this out mentally and get us over that hump, we're going to be in good shape. Talent-wise, I think we have the group that can do it. We just got to figure it out.
Coach, if you could take the first 4 minutes of the game, and as a coach, we used to try and break it down, the first 4 minutes of the game, the last 4 minutes of a half, the first 4 minutes coming out of halftime, and the last 4 minutes of a game. If you could take the first 4 minutes and tell us what you want to be able to see out of your team, aside from a 20-0, game, what is it that you would like to see?
Okay, with Birch Run, they're gonna come out swinging, and they're gonna throw some punches. And I don't mean that. You know how I mean that.
Right.
I mean they're just gonna get after it. And I think if we can withstand that, I'm not gonna say if we can, when we withstand it, and we're able to punch back, and we recognize that they're not all this, that, and everything. That's what I want to see, because I think if we can sustain that initially, that we're going to be fine.
Sarah Miller's been, it seems like she's been here forever. We always talk about players who have been here since their freshman year, and between the newspaper clippings and of course playing against her, how do you plan against her specifically?
Well, we've tried a number of things with her, and frankly, we just haven't had the personnel to honestly carry out even the schemes that we've been trying to do. Certainly, you're probably going to see some maybe triangle 2, box and 1, but hopefully, I'm pretty confident in our group defensively, and I like the matchups, and so, we're going to stay away from that as much as we can, and if we have to go that route, we'll go that route, but there's a part of me that thinks that we can do it the way we play, just staying within our concepts and our schemes. But again, we'll see how it goes. I could be wrong, but I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great game. I really do.
When you look at your team and the success you've had this year, a lot of it comes after made baskets because it allows your team to put that full court pressure on to maybe get a couple easy transition baskets.
We have to be able to press. We're athletic, we're very fast, and if we can't get those baskets in transition, that's when things get a whole lot harder for us. So that's just who we are. We have the personnel to play that way. I know sometimes I get kind of some negative feedback about that, but sorry, this is the way we're set up, this is the way we're wired. The 6 a.m. conditioning, this is why you do it, so that you can play the style and play it the full game. And I truly believe that we wear people down, and then those shots that they were making in the second quarter, they're not so much of a threat in the fourth quarter. So that's just the way we play. That's Garber basketball.
Well, you have a philosophy, which every coach has. Talk to us about how important it is tonight. You were on the road at Millington on Tuesday, got a big win, and any road win in the Tri-Valley is obviously a big win. Tell us how big it is tonight with the home win, holding your home court, and allow yourself a chance to really go into the second half of the season as the league leader.
We've never been in this position. That's the part that I think everybody doesn't kind of put together. We're kind of hanging around. We've been hanging around, but truthfully, we haven't been in a game like this yet. So this is a new experience for us, and we're excited. I hope that we can keep it within the context, though, that we don't get too excited. We've had a little bit of a rough week. Hannah Yachek went down at Millington. Isabel had a little bout of the flu. So it's been an interesting week, a very nerve-wracking week, because I want our full squad in this game, and I think we're going to have a full squad. Maybe not quite 100%, but we got a full squad.
Your girls buy into that philosophy of high energy, breeding easy transition baskets and results. And we think and expect that we're going to see more of that tonight. And I'm very confident that we are going to see the home team come out with a victory in this game tonight.
I sure hope so. I'll tell you, nobody will be happier than for them. It's for them, because they've worked and worked and worked, and they deserve this. It's just they mentally they have to figure out a way to get over this hump. We can't be close. Close isn't good enough anymore. We just got to find a way to get it done.
Well, as the game ends and you win, take a special moment and enjoy it, and maybe give us a little Irish jig or something, because I think we're going to zoom down to get your jubilation at the end of the game.
Sounds good to me. Let's roll with that. That's a good script.
We'll be back in just a minute with all the game action in just a moment on Bay County TV.
How's married life? Are you ready to have a baby? Baby, baby. How about that baby? Ooh. I'm not getting any younger.
When you are ready. With the only neonatal intensive care unit in the Great Lakes Bay region, Covenant is the safest place for your delivery. Go to mycovenantbaby.com.
All right, good evening and welcome. It's the first of two tonight on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and TJ Newsham along with you. Great Bay Metro officiating crew on hand for tonight. And this ought to be a fun start to the ball game to see if the Garber Lady Dukes intensity matches that of Sarah Miller.
Well, I tell you what, let's just see if it matches the intensity of their coach. You know, Coach Klein is very intense and she's very deliberate on what she wants done. Let's see if the Lady Dukes can execute what she wants.
All right, the opening tip is going to go in favor of the Garber Dukes after it was tipped out of bounds by Sarah Miller. So it will be a situation where hands on the ball for the first time, Alyssa Dawkins, and we know she is a bundle of energy on the floor.
Oh, she's going to move quick. She's going to defend quick. She's going to do everything quick. There's nothing that she does is not quick.
Ball down on the floor and fight for the loose change. It'll be a jump ball off the alternate possession. It will go over to the Birch Run Lady Panthers.
Looked like they were trying to do a little face guarding on Ellie Klein, the leading scorer for the Dukes. Be interesting to see how they adjust to get her the ball and get her into scoring positions.
They're going to utilize a good majority of the time to get across the timeline. Very nicely done as the ball just got the Tootsie out of bounds as Ellie went to the sideline, but again, very active.
Oh, their defense is going to be trying to pressure the Lady Panthers, for lack of better terms. I'm not sure they are the Panthers. They're going to try and pressure them into doing things that they're not, accustomed to doing. And getting a couple of steals on the break is going to be one of the things that Garber is going to need to do to be successful tonight.
Going to the free throw line, somebody whose name we will mention often is Sarah Miller. And we talked in the pregame, she's at least a D2 prospect.
Oh, absolutely. She's phenomenal. I mean, as far as the league has gone and things that she has been able to do, she is going to be someone that, we're going to watch tonight, and I'm sure college coaches are going to watch in the future.
It was great with a nice job by Jacek to box out as the shot is missed by Dawkins and ball knocked out of bounds out of Sarah Miller's hands. And the Garber Lady Dukes defense, the press will be set once again.
A little 2-2-1 action right now. We're going to see where they're going to trap it at half court. They're going to try and throw it over.
Well, a nice job of recovery, and we got the double dribble as credit the defense that time, and Baranski getting back to cut that cross-court 2-on-1 pass out.
It was all about Baranski making sure that she was at least quick enough to get into position, because that is what really hesitated the girl on the pass, thus creating the double dribble.
Strong to the hole with the finish. Number 11, Isabel Baranski. Speed at the other end of the floor, a real nice explosive first step on the baseline to get to the hole, and she'll get a chance to finish off the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Well, this is going to be good for us because against Carleton, she was in foul trouble, so we never seen her in extensive periods of time. This is longer than we've seen her play against Carleton.
Yep, until the fourth quarter. She actually had a few minutes in the fourth quarter, but yep, she probably didn't have 2 minutes total through the first three. Baranski just misses that. Great cross court. Nice job of kissing it off the high glass for Sabrina Chabau.
Well, that's the cross court pass that we're talking about. That's the one that they're going to give up and hope to God that their defender gets back in time to make sure they cut that pass off.
Nice long three ball by Jacek. Shot missed. Rebound coming down to McClargy.
Well, there's no question the Dukes are going to get back on defense. Those long court passes for a Birch Run right now aren't going to work.
Boy, I'll tell you, nice soft shot there by Dawkins, making that deuce happen.
I tell you what, would it be bad for us to continue to use the word quick with her? That shot was quick.
Indeed. We're going to have an offensive foul.
Sarah Miller getting her first one, which is a key for the Dukes because it's only 6 minutes left here in the first quarter, only 2 minutes gone for the game.
And again, anticipating that she likes to penetrate, getting in that spot, being stationary, and we got a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan along with the coach TJ Newsham. You like the first minute and 51 seconds of what you've seen thus far from the Garber Lady Dukes?
I do, because it's exactly what we figured they would do. They put a little pressure on it, created a couple turnovers, got Birch run throwing some long passes, but they were able to finish. Dawkins with the last little jump shot that she hit from the small short corner over there. Now we're back to live action.
There's Miller with the steal. Great hands. The Garber Lady Dukes get down the floor as Jacek is going to bring it back into the front court with a full head of steam. Going to take it to the hole. Able to finish with a kiss off the glass for the deuce. Boy, you got to love it, because they're not just settling for that 18-foot shot. They're taking it to the hole.
No, I tell you what, Emma Mickelhargy from Birch Run, you could see she was on her heels. So Jacek coming down the court just looking at her defender going, you're going to keep backpedaling. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to finish this with a three-point play.
Nice job thus far at the free throw line for an 8-3 lead. As I know you get 10 seconds to get it across the timeline, but that is one of the steals that they're looking for. Jacek with a nice skip pass to Baranski. Baranski pulls up from 18, can't get it. Another nice backside rebound by Bolton.
Yeah, absolutely. They got the right shot that they wanted. They got the steal that they wanted. They're going to continue to take Ellie Klein away, and unless they're going to start getting some side screens. Ooh, and a little travel call right there. Wasn't sure if there was going to be a bump call, but Billy Jane's right on top of that call.
Well, and on that situation, as long as you're ruled that there is not the bump, then what you've got is, with possession going to the floor, that's an easy call for the officials.
Absolutely. A lot of people wonder how that's going to get called, but sometimes they're just easy for us, not so easy for the parents.
Yes, indeed. And that's number 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you giving me the peace sign, brother? Yeah. 2 fouls? I thought it was Richard Nixon for a minute.
Hey, 4 more years. I'm not a crook. I could give you all of them. But I tell you what, that's a huge foul on Sarah Miller.
And they're going to leave her on the floor, saying that her senior leadership, I think at this point you almost have to set her at least for a minute or two to regain her composure. Nice little pump fake trying to come down the floor. Ellie Klein is going to be fouled on the play by Miller. And I'll tell you what, they are inside. They are playing almost a box-and-one type defense away. She is just face guarding her the whole time and everywhere she goes.
And just to clarify, that's Emily Miller, not Sarah Miller, yes. So that's only her first.
Miller and Miller, the law firm.
Absolutely. I would expect them to continue. Right now, Ellie's not hurting them because she's not able to get the ball. So on the one side of it, as your Birch Run coach, you're going, hey, we're down 8-3. Their leading scorer hasn't even gotten untracked. Let's continue to do that, but we got to start shoring up these turnovers. We got to start shoring up our defense and the fouls.
There again is pressure defense. Baranski is coming, and we're going to have a reach-in foul by Bolton, as they're just racking them up. 6 fouls in the first 3 minutes and change.
Yeah, that's going to be Bolton's 3rd foul here early, as she's going to get subbed out by Casto. But, it goes back to it. The way that Garber's playing, they're getting their steals and they're putting Birch Run off balance. So Birch Run is not playing with a lot of defensive stability at this point.
Nice job down, as Klein has definitely got defense all over her. Baranski now going to dribble penetrate. Off balance shot. And you can, on an attempted shot, you can get your own rebound. And there's a lot of people that think that's a travel, but they don't understand the rule if they think that's a travel.
Well, they got to understand what's considered a shot. That shot was definitely not an attempt to get an advantage by whatsoever. And that was a shot, and Baranski was able to get the rebound, so.
Boy, Olivia Duan probably wishes she had that back, could have taken off herself. And another opportunity down the floor, and that turnover gives the ball back. You look at what you talked to Coach Klein about the first 4 minutes, I think that would bring a smile to her face to be up 8-3 with possession.
I tell you what, Sarah Miller's not hurting them. She's got 2 fouls. And again, going back to her, Ellie Klein hasn't gotten untracked yet offensively. So you're pretty happy being up 5 right now. Plus the foul situation, your pressure is putting on that's being put onto Birch Run is creating a 6-1 foul differential right now, and it's definitely deserved.
So Dewan with the foul.
I seen Baranski on that last jump shot. That's a good jump shot. There's nothing wrong with that shot. If she can hit that shot, do you know how dangerous the Dukes can be?
Well, and she's got a good look, and you know she's capable of making that shot.
And Yachak being a little bit, as Coach Klein's mentioned, you know, whether it's the ankle or whether it's just kind of thinking about the ankle, that kind of puts you in a mindset of going, oh, do I really want to go all out or do I not? We've seen on the one drive where she took it to the basket, but now she's out of the game currently. I'm sorry, excuse me, she's back on the floor. Mm-hmm. But just having her out there, Baranski, you know she's capable of doing things. And hopefully she continues to do great things while Ellie's being held in check.
Boy, and they are very, very familiar of where Sarah Miller is on the floor. As they tried to get a double team. Nice extra pass to free throw extension. Cannot get the shot to drop. Here comes Baranski on a controlled break. 3:20 left in our first quarter of play. There's the extra pass for the easy deuce to number 13, Elise Walker. Nice look.
Absolutely. That was a great look, and timeout called by the Birch Run Panthers.
We'll take a break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and TJ Newsham along with you, 10-3. Just shy of playing 5 minutes here in the first quarter. Is now coming down the floor, able to beat the pressure, and another unforced turnover as they come down the floor, and Sarah Miller is going to go back down on the floor, and beautiful eyes up lead pass for number 20, Sabrina Jarbow. Misses the layup, and then out of frustration might have got a cheapie.
I tell you what, everything was done right by Birch Run there. They got the steal that Miller's side.
Thank you.
Miller's eyes were heads up and got the pass down there, and sometimes you're a little too open as that in that case.
So they've got the 1-and-1 situation going on with still 2:54 left in the first. Let's see if the Lady Dukes can continue that prowess at the free throw line. Nice first stroke.
I tell you what, it's going to be important to see how much more they continue to attack, because if they continue to attack, you're already in the bonus. You know, let's get to the free throw line. Let's get to the free ones.
And look at that. As soon as that ball is commandeered, Sarah Miller wants her hands on that ball. She is the floor general out there for this team, and she's the finisher. But they've done a tremendous job of keeping her from being a serious factor early on in the ball game. Not giving up baseline. Nice job. Good reach in. Coach Klein over there just applauding the effort of her defense. And we're going to have an offensive foul. No shooting, though.
I tell you what, Lauren Walker on that defensive front, you're asking a freshman, 14 years old, to take on one of the best players, not only in the Tri-Valley, but in the state. And she did that last possession perfectly.
Picture perfect textbook.
Amen.
Ellie Klein thought about putting it up from 24, but she knows they can get a better look than that. Sliding it around, Klein open in the corner, was looking for activity. And now with that ball down on the floor, we're going to have a jump ball off the alternate possession, as Birch Run has almost been forced to go into a 2-3.
They did go into a 2-3, and I'm kind of wondering, maybe it would have been better for Ellie to step away and say, hey, listen, folks, this is what they got going on. Let's run this play. I think they were still running their offense that they were running initially, and now they have a chance to reset it.
Beautiful extra look, backdoor cut for the kiss off the glass of the deuce. And it is 13-3. As we're going to have a travel. The defense fell back. The offensive player fell down. They were anticipating contact that never happened. She fell down on her own. Good call that time by John Turner.
You have got to be balanced wherever you're coming to on the basketball court. I can't stress it enough with kids that I'm working with. You've got to work on your balance, because that situation right there's a little bit of touch, a little bit of a bump, not enough, and all of a sudden you're falling down, and it's going to be a fraction on you.
Boy, you need a double skip pass, and Ellie Klein's wide open on the backside here in the corner for the shot. So they skip it over to her. Here comes Sarah Miller. You know the defense is going to be set as they force her to take an off-balance shot. The defense got back enough to alter that shot.
You didn't have to take a charge on that. You just had to be there, and that's exactly what Yachak did. She was there.
So Ellie Klein has that ball taken away, and we're going to have a reach-in foul by Olivia Dewan.
Sarah Miller's way too good of a ball player not to be heard from. You know, that was a situation right there. She reacted. She had a great instinct to make sure she got the ball in her hands, and then, of course, a foul that was committed.
When you look at this team, though, Dan Kramer has so much confidence in her to say, even with 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the game, I'm going to leave her on the floor. And there's a foul that you'd like to have back.
Well, let's go talk about the coach for a second. You got a player like Sarah. You know, this isn't her first rodeo. She's been here. She understands what she can and what she can't do. What I'm surprised on the flip side of it is, why aren't the Dukes attacking? Wherever she's at on defense, no matter what part of the zone she's at, why aren't we going into that area? I understand why they're not going man in fear of that third foul, but on the flip side of it, let's make sure we're attacking wherever she's at, because she's got to be a little less likely to get in a situation where she's going to make the play.
Dawkins coming down the floor right now. They're going to reset the offense. Dribble penetration, back to Dawkins. No skip pass needed here. Dribble penetration. There's a beautiful pass underneath. Nice shot attempt and a miss, though, by Chloa, but still very nice. But the ball turned over, and look at the frustration right there on Sarah Miller. Grabs both hands to her head, taps the floor down, realizes things aren't going her way. But guess what? We've got about 3 quarters plus 47 ticks left in this game. She will be heard from.
Well, Emily Miller threw the pass, and I don't think Sarah was obviously looking for it. But, you know, we're sitting here at a 10-point deficit, first quarter. You haven't played your best basketball yet. What's the likelihood that you're going to have something left in you? You know, you got 3 quarters. You got 18 minutes. I'm sorry, 24 minutes.
36 left in the first quarter. Down the floor right now comes Emily Miller. There's a steal. Here comes Klein down the floor. She takes a little stutter step, strong to the hole, and another foul, and that's going to go against Emily Miller. As she almost did a nice job, because she almost gave that appearance that she was going to pull it back out, and then stutter stepped and then took off strong to the hole, and she'll get 2 at the line. Hasn't made her first couple of shots, but no better place to be than at the free throw line to get the groove going.
Well, I tell you what, for Ellie right now, she has to get herself under control. Make a shot, whether it's a free throw, whether it's a layup, whether it's a jump shot. You want to make sure you make your first shot. On the flip side of it, she also has to make sure she's not going to try and force anything in a situation like this, where you're a leading scorer, you're being held scoreless, it's first quarter is almost over, you're playing in a pivotal game here in the Tri-Valley. Just let the game come to you. Don't force the game. And I tell you what, if you're not scoring and your team is still winning, we'll take that every day of the week.
Indeed it is. Here comes the first of the 1-and-1s. Nice stroke, nothing but the bottom of the net.
She looks like she's been there before.
A time or two. She's shot a few free throws. Second offering up, bend to the knees, flick of the wrist, all cotton on the delivery. 22.5 ticks left in the first. An errant ball tipped out of bounds by Baranski. It'll go back over to Birch Run. I don't think Birch Run anticipated the team speed that is coming at them in waves from the Lady Dukes here in the first quarter.
It's coming at from every side of the court right now. And I tell you what, Baranski seems to be everywhere. They can't find a spot where she's not. Number 11 is everywhere for the Dukes right now.
Emily Miller anticipated that passing lane. Now is going to go strong to the hole, out of control, flips it out of bounds with 0.5 seconds left in the first quarter. And Emily Miller just can't get the groove on.
Yeah,
Sarah,
when you get a chance like a player like that, and you wonder if they're just accustomed to getting calls or certain calls because of their status as a great player.
We'll take a break and be back for the second quarter in just a moment on Bay County TV.
So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam or give us a call at 989-684-9607.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and the coach, TJ Newsham, as we watch those Lady Dukes coming out of the huddle at the end of the first. And TJ, first quarter was everything they could have hoped for and more.
I tell you what, we asked Coach Klein before the game. She never really gave a definitive answer what she would like to see after the first 4 minutes of the game, but I guarantee that if she looks back
more
at
of the
this
same,
that would have been it right there. I'll take that.
Boy, near steal and the travel again is that active defense, and Lauren Walker doing a great job with the defense. Has just really got the Birch Run Lady Panthers out of sorts here and out of rhythm.
We haven't seen the Birch Run offense yet, and I'm kind of anxious to see how they're going to run their offense. But to tell you what, credit to Garber Dukes, they're not letting Birch run their offense.
Pass inside, off the glass. Nice attempt that time, but couldn't finish. Was Chloa. Here comes Miller, pulling up from 18 feet. Oh, she just stayed behind the line. And see what that does for Sarah Miller.
We'll call that 19-9. 19-9 and a half.
And a toe. So, again, we're at the opposite end of the floor. We knew it was close to the line, but Bill Janes was obviously right on top of that play in the position he needed to be. Sarah Miller with her first basket of the game, and it's a 3-ball. 15-6 our score, 7:22 left in the second quarter.
We'll be interested to see now that she's got one down. Is she going to try and force her, or she can continue to let the game come to her?
Did your question just get answered?
I tell you what, though, let me tell you something about that. That's the right pass. We talked about it pre-game with Coach Watts.
Yep.
You got to make the right play, and she's making the right play. The teammates have got to step up to do their part. You got great players, they can only do so much.
There's a wide open three. Tickling the twine on the trifecta. Klein looked like somebody on the bench said something. She spun her head just as soon as that shot went off to see if she could make it happen. Just stepping on the line. Too bad, too, because the Dukes had a 2-on-1 down at the other end of the floor.
I tell you what, when you're down by 12 points and it's early in the tempo and everything has been dictated exactly the way Coach Klein would like it to be, your best bet is just, hey, let's get back on defense.
Into the front court comes Miller. Miller with a good dribble penetration. We're going to have a reach-in foul go against Jacek. And that will send Miller to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
I don't mind that play. You got active hands. You're getting your hands in there. Someone's driving past you. You didn't reach in and grab and hold, but, unfortunately, Billy James was right on top of it.
First free throw by Miller is good.
The foul trouble right now, the big one, obviously, is 2 fouls on Sarah. But I'm going to be anxious to see if they're going to get her any rest here in the first half.
Well, Bolton is the other one that'll probably sit the rest of the first half because she picked up 3 quick ones as well.
Well, that was number 2 on Jacek, so we'll see how the Garber Dukes respond to Jacek having 2.
Trying to force a pass. It was stolen. Miller wide open for a long 3-ball from 22. And I'll tell you got to get on her at half court because when she laces up the shoes, she's in the rhythm.
I tell you what, Dawkins wasn't not near her. we make it sound like she was wide open. However, Miller is just going to be one of those girls that can take the game over. She's got the ability. And she's done it. So this isn't going to be the first time her team's ever been down. And, they're going to look at her or rely on her to do something.
Boy, just beating the 5 seconds, dribbling it off their foot. And this is actually the first time in the ball game Birch run with possession down 7 had a legit chance to get back in this game, and they don't even get the ball to midcourt because of the pressure.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about earlier with Lauren Walker, the freshman. You ask her and task her to guard Sarah Miller, and now all of a sudden she's on top on the 2-2-1, and she's still creating. Great job by the freshman.
As the pass goes errantly the other way, very nice job by Jacek of saving it. Klein's going to back it out and reset up the show.
You know, some of those passes right there we've looked at exactly. She's not putting her teammates into a position to do anything with. Sometimes it's just better to take it back out, make Birch run, have to guard you. You're up by 7, 6 minutes left. It's a conference game. Let's take care of the ball. Let's take care of each possession.
Here comes Miller, and boy, they are hawking her defensively, rotating that second player around as Baranski. Miller to Miller. As Sarah now sets up at the top of the key, trying to dribble penetrate. Coming back into the game is Bolton with 3, and she traveled. And again, you credit the defensive pressure from Garber helping to cause that turnover.
And I go right back to number 30, Lauren Walker. Freshman or not, she is making plays right now defensively. You got to keep her on the floor because of that. Whether or not she's scoring offensively is irrelevant. She's doing things on the defensive end that aren't being done.
As Ellie Klein puts up a baseline shot from about 12, can't make it happen. Sarah Miller with a nice job. And the defense just got back there a skosh late.
You know, Miller was taking it to the hole, and I was waiting for maybe a little Euro step there, but she's got a nice little pull-up jump shot right from about 6 feet in the lane there, and she's going to be rewarded for 2 free throws.
She hurried that first one and was not one of her better efforts.
You know, the shot itself is flat. Her shot itself is flat. But you know what? When you do something for so often and so long, it becomes part of your hobby, or excuse me, your habit.
Still 18-11, 5:20 left. Baranski wide open for a 3-ball. Off the mark, and look at that. Coming down, Sarah Miller with a nice rebound on the play. Miller to Miller on the pass. As they come back, that's a wide open 3 look. And you got to like her chances wide open from 21.
Well, going back to how are they going to guard her defensively? When you're doing transition defense, you're not even letting her touch the ball in the half-court set. Now, all of a sudden, you're running your zone or whatever it is that you're running, but you got to make sure that you're paying attention to number 1.
Nice look to the basket. That's the second soft shot from mid-range that Dawkins has been able to drop.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about her being quick. That move right there got herself into a position where she could get the shot off. And, of course, she's getting a little love.
Nice job going to the hole. And there's going to be no call, but the ball goes out of bounds and it'll go back over. I'll tell you, Baranski, nice job of getting down the floor.
No, she had a great steal. You know, the one thing that we talk about going back to training, go off 2 feet. You go off 1 foot, you're not really balanced. Go off 2 feet, make that contact, and just finish your layup. Get the foul, get the and 1. As a nice pass to Jacek, cutting to the block.
Well, they faked that pass to the corner to Dawkins, got the defense just to slide 1 step that way. Jacek just came in, found a nice little crease, and was able to finish.
Well, I tell you, going back to their defense right now, you know exactly what layups do for you. Layups give you the opportunity to set your defense up.
And there will be a 1-and-1 situation, as going to the free throw line will be Queso.
Been impressed overall with the Dukes. Baranski specifically, you know, she's making the right plays defensively. She's making the right plays offensively. Her shot's looking good.
And again, 1 and done as the Birch Run team not very proficient early on here from the free throw line as we're under 4 minutes left in our first half. Still an 8-point lead. Klein wide open for a 3-ball just off the front iron. That's a great look, though. And here comes Sarah Miller down the floor.
We talked about Miller being on that backside of the zone. We have not attacked her in that block area since she's got her second foul.
Jacek wide open for a long 2, can't get it to drop. It is going to go down to the Garber Lady Dukes.
You know, I think maybe Coach Klein looking back was going to want to go, let's attack number 1. Every shot we've seen recently, with the exception of one out of bounds and the baseline out of bounds where Yacha came down to the block, has been on the left side of the floor. Attack number 1. Make her make a decision.
Ellie Klein had that ball slip through her fingers. She's going to look to go down on the baseline right now to Baranski. Nice little skip pass around. Klein goes off 2 feet, can't get that one to drop. That was a nice shot attempt, though. And we are approaching 3 minutes left in our first half of play.
Well, it's going to be important to see how Birch Run finishes this first half. We both know that they haven't played their best basketball.
Like the way that Baranski was physical off of that rebound. They had a couple of hands come in. She just tore it away from them. She's going to go strong to the hole, and we're going to have
a travel
call.
Well, evidently, she revved up a little bit too much and got a little bit of a running start. She looks a little tired out there, a little fatigued right now.
She has expended a whole lot of energy. And I think that maybe we got some blood.
Checking in for Birch Run.
Yep, I think that's potentially what we've got is
Emily Miller's going to take a little bit of a break.
We're going to have to
not wanting to take a break.
I don't know if she's got a cut on the lip or if it's on the nose or what it is. And there's the turnover, and we're going to have a number 3 on Sarah Miller. Finally doing what you had asked for on the previous 5 or 6 possessions. Attack the star. And she says to Coach, I'm all right with 3. I'm all right. But, boy, can you afford to have number 4? Because if I'm Coach Klein, I'm writing up a play the next time down the floor that's going to attack that spot that she's in.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, you couldn't have a better player, Ellie Klein, and as I'm talking, be that player to go to the free throw line and hit some free throws for him. But you want to make sure that if you're going to get a foul on her, let's put some points on the board because of it.
Still a 9-point lead for the Lady Dukes. 2:39 and counting left in our first half. As Miller's really having to work hard for everything she gets. And she is going to get a basket and be rewarded at the free throw line with an opportunity to get a 3.
Well, she rewards herself getting the and 1, but she rewards the coach by keeping her in the game. It's a gutsy call with 2:33 left here in the first half with 3 fouls. And I understand she feels confident in herself, but as a coach, you've got to look at the situation going, you know what? I've got to trust you that much. And obviously, Coach does.
And she's 0 for her last 3 at the free throw line. Emmy Klein had that shot go off the mark. It was a quick transition attempt. And down 7 with possession. Sarah Miller with a little mini crossover gets the ball back. Thought about it from 23. Just enough closeout defense to keep her from getting that open look.
She was looking, she was looking, she was looking.
And they're going to fight for the loose change, and we're going to have a jump ball off the alternate possession. It will go back over to the Garber Lady Dukes.
And that was going back with Baranski down there, just keeping her vertical, keeping her hands straight up in the air. The ball's not going anywhere. Dukes are up 7 here. Miller's still on the floor. And it'll be anxious to see what we're going to do here.
Well, does Baranski attack? Skip past the Klein. She thought about the 3. Nice job defensively of closing out by Johnston.
Lauren Walker. Lauren Walker back in the game for the Lady Dukes, the freshman that I've been really high on this morning. This morning, here I am. That's a 3-point shot.
Well, I mean,
tickles the twine for Ellie Klein.
If you're in London, it might be morning, but here we are, beautiful Bay City. It's evening. A buck and a half left in the first half. Dukes back up by 10. Miller, as she just comes back into the ball game, as you had just mentioned, with her hands on the ball. Miller to Miller. As Sarah steps back from 3 and lets it go. Kind of a forced shot and a miss.
Well, we know when you're the top scorer of a team, there's a certain point you get to where either you're not getting the looks you want, and credit the Garber defense. They're not allowing her the looks that she's used to, she's accustomed to, or that she wants. Walker
got that ball down in the post, sensed the double team, dribbled right out of the double team and got the skip pass going back the other way. Very nicely done.
What's amazing, we're talking about a freshman, is Baranski with a little post-up move right there, a little shot in the paint. But we're talking about a freshman making that decision when there's certain amount of times, or you don't feel something's right with your possession. It's okay. There's no shot clock here.
It's going the other way. Great closeout defense. Long 3 ball up in the air and missed as Baranski again comes down with a rebound. 20 ticks left. I think that the Lady Dukes ought to wait for that last shot of the half.
I tell you what, for 15 seconds left, I tell you what, the ball's in the right hand. Unless you get the right shot, that leaves Sarah Miller with a little bit more time than I would like.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Miller using that off arm to clear a little space. Got bailed out by one there.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's attacking though. And you're putting the defense on their heels. Good things can happen to you when you're the offensive player. When you can sense, or when you can watch, when you can read that the defender is out of position or standing vertical, and all you got to do is beat them to their legal guarding spot.
First make and 4 attempts that time for Sarah Miller.
If I said that right, legal guarding position.
Correcto.
All right.
And the second one too, boy, I'll tell you, those 2 line drives look very, very nice. Coming down right now to Lauren Walker. And at the end of the half, the Lady Dukes 28. And the Lady Panthers from Birch Run 18. Back in a moment. We'll recap the first half, set the stage for the second half right here on Bay County TV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back at the half, Jeff Doan and TJ Newsham along with you. I think when you look at the first half, the start was obviously huge. Walker's defense on Miller, for a freshman to be guarding a perennial 1,000-point-a-year score, was phenomenal.
I tell you what, you couldn't have scripted that part of it better. She was all over the place, and even when she wasn't necessarily guarding Sarah, she was still active hands on the press, and she was creating havoc against the Birch Run offense and not letting them set up. If you can stop Birch Run from setting up and thus allowing Sarah Miller to get a good look within the offense, you're going to be ahead of the game. And as we look now, the Dukes are.
I would say Miller has got somewhere around 8-9 points in the first half. Very easy for me to say she's gone a long time since she's had to work that hard to get 8-9 points.
Well, we talked about it from the beginning of it. She didn't touch the ball in the offensive set for Birch Run. You're going back to it and you're looking at what they're running. And it's not going to be the first time they've seen a box and one, first time they've seen a diamond. It's not going to be their first time. But the way Garber's doing it, their rotations on it, are key because they're allowing the Birch Run shooters to shoot except for Sarah Miller. They're going to live and die with anybody else but Sarah Miller shooting that basketball.
Their foot speed defensively has created some turnovers, but also some matchup problems as Birch Run has tried to stay in the half-court offense.
I tell you what, the one thing about it, going back to the rotation, if you watch the game, as a coach would, after the game, and you start breaking things down, you're going to realize how quick the Dukes are. They're making decisions, in which is what you want to be able to see this point of the season, 10, 11, 12 games into the season. You want to be able to see them reacting to something that's not there yet. And if you can get them to react to that point, then it's only going to continue to get greater for them as they proceed through the season.
Is that called anticipation?
We call it anticipation, instinct, however you want to call it, however Coach Klein decides to call it there in the locker room. The big thing, you got to take in the anticipation, you got to take in the instinct. But it all starts with the teaching that she's put into those guys, ladies, I'm sorry. She's put a lot of time into them from the time that they were young. I mean, we're looking at a veteran group. With the exception of Ellie Walker as a freshman, we're looking at a veteran group. Her daughter specifically, and Baranski, those are two people that, as a coach, you can rely on. And we're watching Baranski tonight for a full first half, put on an effort defensively, which is leading to offense for the Dukes.
Second half comes down to your key word in the pregame, and that's finish.
Well, they're up by 10 right now. I don't think you're going to find a coach anywhere that's going to say, you know what, I don't want to be up by 10 at halftime. I think they're going to go back to the locker room and figure out just a couple little things. Just, we talked about a little bit, maybe forcing a couple of shots they didn't need to take. Get the ball back out, run something, see what they're running. But you know what? Sarah Miller's got 3 fouls. Let's find out where she's at on the floor, and let's post her up. Let's attack her, whether it's off the dribble. They're playing a zone. You have to attack the zone into the soft gas, but you can dribble penetrate against the zone. And if you find out where she's at, is she really going to want to pick up foul number 4 here early in the third quarter? Probably not. So use that to your advantage. Try and build that lead.
Could it be interesting to see? Birch Run obviously loves the man, almost was forced due to foul trouble to go into that 2-3. If they come out in the second half and maintain that 2-3, or if they try for a stretch to go back to man to see if they can get something to happen with that.
Well, I tell you what, when you got your best player with 3, you're thinking about her first. You want to make sure that your decision for the team is based on your best opportunity to come back in this game. And with her being straddled with 3 fouls and potentially limiting what she can do or how hard she will go on defense, you're better off setting back in the zone. The Garber zone offense hasn't hurt them. It was the transition and the free throws that they were getting early that basically created the lead. We had Dawkins with a couple soft shots from the short corner. We had Baranski with a little post-up move here a minute before the half ended. But overall, you're going to be going, well, we'll take that as long as Sarah stays on the floor.
Now the second half again, obviously only a 10-point lead. You know that the Birch Run Lady Panthers are going to have another run in them. How well those Garber Lady Dukes are able to sustain that run and answer.
Well, I think, let's go back. Birch Run is a successful team, is a successful program. Sarah Miller may be their top player, but it's not just her, it's the team. And they've had success the last couple of years, so being down again isn't going to be a detriment to her as much as it is going to be for the Lady Dukes to go above and beyond that. Let's not worry about the best player from the other team. Let's not worry about the top player from the conference. Let's figure out what we have to do to make sure we hold home court here in our conference so we can maintain our lead here as a league leader.
Second half ought to be fun. It'll be coming at you right after this on Bay County TV.
You treat your family with extraordinary care every day, which is why when it comes to their health, more of you choose Covenant Healthcare. We specialize in extraordinary care, from diagnosis to recovery, from babies to grandparents. Learn more about our extraordinary bariatrics program. Sign up for our free seminar.
Back and ready to rock here for the second half on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and TJ Newsham, Jared and Natalie Doan on the cameras, and Nick Page producing and directing our show. First half could not have gone much better for the Garber Lady Dukes with that 10-point lead. And they are really forcing the pressure here as Baranski comes down the floor, and look at the pass ahead to Dawkins, streaking ahead of the defense. Sarah Miller could not risk picking up number 4 by challenging that shot.
No, absolutely. We talked about challenging her earlier, and that was one that she would have liked to have. Maybe she would have gotten to, but not with 3 fouls.
Yep. So that's actually a good play, but that's good recognition by Dawkins, knowing that she's going to take it strong to the hole and finish. Baranski on the left-hand wing, up top to Ellie Klein. Jacek thought about the shot. They can get that shot whenever. Baranski underneath, went to the left hand, couldn't get the shot to drop. As Jarbo with the rebound for Birch Run.
Well, she did what we talked about, going at Miller. Miller stepped aside so she wouldn't pick up foul number 4. Baranski just couldn't finish there at the rim.
There is M. Miller. And I'll tell you, fastest girl on the floor. Dawkins defensively on her. As here comes the other end of the floor. A kiss off the glass. Lauren Walker for the deuce. Don't look now, but a little 4-0 run to start the second half for the Garber Lady Dukes.
I tell you what, Birch Run comes out. They run a deliberate set, which they did. They ran a deliberate set. They turned it over. It led to 2 points for the Dukes. Another turnover leads to 2 points for the Dukes. Right now, Birch Run needs to figure out, hey, if we don't turn the ball over here, we've got a chance.
Boy, there's a tough one, too, is just going to the hole strong, but I thought maybe a little out of control was number 10, Emily Miller. And she'll go to the free throw line, and she has missed the first. The Birch run team has not been proficient thus far at the free throw line.
Well, as my son says, the ball doesn't lie, so if you miss 1 out of 2, then it wasn't a foul. As Baranski picked up her 3rd foul, so she's going to take a little seat. But I tell you what, the way she's playing right now, that's going to be a tough spot right there. I would not sit too long on the bench there, or expect to sit too long on the bench there.
As bringing that ball down, Walker goes back up top to Klein. You know, and you could definitely move that ball and take 30, 40 seconds off the clock, force the defense to work. Klein wide open from 24 feet off the mark. Nice job that time of boxing out was Emma McCargley.
Yeah, we're just going to call her Emma.
Yes. As we're going to have a foul on a 3-point shot.
Elise Walker getting her hand in there, getting caught with her hand in there.
In the cookie jar.
Well, you know, we talked about her sister Ellie, the freshman, and that was her steal. You know, when you have to guard somebody, when coach says, hey, we're going to have you guard their best player, you can look at it 2 ways. You can panic, you can think about it, or you can just go out and do it. And right now she's just doing it. So I'm glad she got rewarded not only with the steal, but she went down there with a left-hand layup and put the Dukes up at that point by 13.
And when you've been given that job, 105% of your energy have got to be spent on the defensive end of the floor. Anything you do offensively is bonus.
Well, you're thinking about it. That's the spot. Speaking of spots, that would have been a great spot for that ball to drop.
As they go to Dawkins. Dawkins with that quick step. Beautiful extra pass just off the front iron. Elise Walker could not get it to finish. Still an 11-point lead, 5.5 left. Nice look underneath. The shot is missed. Up between the defenders, and we're going to have a reach-in foul.
Tell you what, Elise got that ball, and she wasn't giving it up until she knew exactly it was going to go to a Garber Duke teammate.
Number 3, Emily Bolton. That is her 2nd, team first.
Bolton 2nd for the game. 5:28 here left here in the 3rd quarter.
A little quick confab. Bill Janes and John Turner. John just came back to the state of Michigan a couple of years ago after spending 30-plus years doing high-level basketball out in California. So he's very proficient, and they're talking about something right now. I'm not quite certain what that is.
I haven't seen anything that would lead us to believe that this is a conversation that is the girls are getting physical or overly physical. So I'm with you. I'm not sure what this is about. And since we're not down on the floor and we don't have that capabilities as a Bill Walton or a Dan Schulman, we don't have somebody coming over telling us.
But you know what? As a longtime official, if I see that happen, and I address it with the players before I even worry about going to the coaches, and I think that would clean it up. So I am not quite certain what happened, but with an 11-point lead in possession here, nearing the midway point of the 3rd quarter, I think it's up to Garber to value every offensive possession, look for that high percentage shot, and make the defense expend some energy and work.
Well, they're going to try and continue to hit those gaps, as that was evident right there. There's nothing wrong with that, but it wouldn't be so bad one of these times to make sure that the look that they get is exactly the look that they want. Call a timeout, run a quick hitter, do something that allows your girls to run as Miller slices and
dices.
Absolutely for the deuce.
Boy, what great control of her hands and her body at a tough angle, able to make it happen. And there's an ill-advised skip pass. Here comes Miller down the floor. Very wise to not get there, but Walker defensively doing a great job. Dawkins is the recipient of getting that steal, and she couldn't control it in time. As Walker comes down the floor, it's 1-on-4 at the other end, and a kiss off the glass for the deuce.
Couple things. Birch run continually looks to Sarah. I get it, you get it, anybody that watches basketball gets it. One of those girls is going to have to step their game up. Garber on the flip side, they get the steal, they get what they want, and they're looking for their top scorer. You've got multiple scorers on the floor. Be patient, take your time, cherish that possession, and make sure that every pass is exactly where you want it to get to.
As the ball tipped out of bounds, and it will go back over to the Lady Dukes. And, you know, when you get that shot offensively that you are patient and you work for, you got to finish on the offensive end if you're the Garber Lady Dukes.
I tell you what, they can also get some looks going at the basket. Again, go back at number 1. She's playing on the bottom side of the zone, attack that side, and then make that middle girl have to either decide whether to step up or not.
Boy, Ellie Klein from about 25 let that go. It was a perfect lined up shot, but just off of the iron.
I'm just not sure that, again, is going to be the best shot we can get at the moment.
Nice backdoor look to number 20 on the play, Jarbeau. And it is a 5-point game. Just inside 4 minutes left, and Coach Klein realizes this is an opportunity. Settle the girls down. Take a TO, baby. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Hi, my name is Grace and I love music, but I've also struggled with depression. I wouldn't be here doing what I love if it wasn't for OK to Say.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a 2-year starter on the varsity football team, and with all the pressure building up, I've had thoughts of suicide, and I might not be here today without OK to Say.
Hi, my name is Haley and I just got into med school. If I hadn't got the help that I needed, I wouldn't have been able to pursue my dream of becoming a doctor. OK to Say saved me.
OK to Say saved me.
OK to Say saved me.
Don't hesitate to speak up.
Back here on Bay County TV, the Birch Run Lady Panthers have outscored the Lady Dukes by 9 points here in this third quarter, because just as a minute into the third, they were down by 14, and they have chipped that lead in more than half.
Well, I'll tell you what, they get an out-of-bounds play. And this may have been a timeout to do nothing more than calm the girls down. And obviously that play out, that shot wasn't one that they wanted to have.
Boy, and another tough angle. You're looking for Sarah Miller to do it. How about Emily Miller has really lit it up. And we have Klein on the other end, unable to make it happen, but the rebound comes down to Walker. Walker dribble penetrates and decides to now skip pass. Now they send it out and around again. Set the offense back up, take some time. Emily Klein with a kiss off the glass, just a little bit of a short arm. And here comes Emily Miller, giving it to Sarah Miller, pulling up from way downtown. Don't look now, but we are tied up. A 14-point surge by the Birch Run Lady Panthers here in the third, have knotted this game up at 32.
Well, let's go back to it. The Dukes aren't able to get under their defensive pressure. They're not able to create transition, and this is the situation. Now you're playing Birch Run's transition offense versus your defense, and you're not creating anything. If you're not getting layups, if you're not getting baskets, you can't set up your 2-2-1, your full court press, your diamond, whatever it is you're trying to run full court to try and dictate the tempo.
Has the ball down. Emily Klein's going strong to the hole, puts up a shot. Walker there to grab it.
Klein a little slow to get up there. Wasn't sure if she was hurt or just trying to make sure nobody stepped on her as she got up.
Emily Klein had another good look. Tickles the twine on the trifecta. And that lead goes back to 3 for the Lady Dukes here as we're approaching 2 minutes left in our third quarter of play.
Well, I'll be interested to see if somebody else besides Sarah Miller can step up. We already seen Emily Miller step up a couple times, but take away the Millers and see if anyone else can step their game up right now for the Panthers as they're trying to get themselves back not only into the game but get ahead of the game.
As Miller gets an off-balance shot, and Baranski picks up number 4. As that was just an ill-advised reach.
You know, you're sitting there unbalanced and don't reach. You know, you want to. You think you're quick enough. You think you can get there. All you're trying to do is not get her to shoot the shot. It was too late. She shot the shot.
Yep. So Baranski will sit the rest of the third quarter and see where she's at. I don't know that you can afford to sit her much to start the fourth, but after the split of the two, and Miller was very uncharacteristic, less than 50% at the line, Dawkins puts a short arm shot up and the ball out of bounds. As fighting for that loose change was number 12, Olivia Dwan. But at least Garber gets to set up in their full court pressure.
Let's see what they do here. They got back on Lauren, back on Miller. A little trap action, but she's so smart and she's so talented that, a pass here, a pass there isn't going to. Oh, there's a couple of early misses in there. I'll tell you what, look who has the ball.
Walker. Walker couldn't finish. Miller back down the floor. We've got a reach in, loose ball down on the floor, and it's going to come back to Jacek. Jacek with a 5-on-3 down the floor. Klein squares up the feet, lets it fly, can't get it to drop. Dwan with a rebound, though. Nice job being able to dribble out of the pressure. Walker up top.
You know, that's a shot for Ellie to shoot as Walker slides in and gets a little love. And I think we call that the old-fashioned.
That was just a thing of beauty. Gets a chance to get the deuce, and she'll go to the free throw line to try and finish off that three-point play, as TJ said, the old-fashioned way.
I like it because she's playing hard. She's getting at it defensively, and this is a reward for her. This isn't something that she's doing on her own. This isn't part of the offense. This is her playing basketball and creating.
And there's an offensive rebound and then a giveaway. And fight for a loose ball down on the floor, and it's finally going to go back over to the Birch run as Miller hits the floor. Both Millers were down. 47 ticks left in the third quarter.
It's going to be a nail biter. You know, we talked about making sure that each possession was going to be taken care of.
As they come down the floor, Emily Miller looking for space, and she can't get any space either, and we're going to have a Dawkins foul, it looks like.
Well, sometimes she's too quick. Sometimes a little too quick.
As the Birch Run Lady Panthers with 34.4 ticks left in the third, down 4 with possession under their own basket.
The most dangerous player on the floor is the one who takes the ball out of bounds.
And that's Miller. Miller didn't get it, but nobody boxing off. And a second opportunity before Dawkins is finally going to come down the floor. Nice peripheral vision. Is going to end up getting that ball back. Emily Klein gets that ball inside. And, boy, there was a lot of bodies around Jacek. Good thing that she decided to pull back out. Moving the ball around. Walker had an opportunity to go to the hole. Dawkins sends it up, and she's going to get 2 at the free throw line. Smallest girl on the floor playing big.
Hit the gap against the zone. The one thing about the zone, when you got less than 10 seconds, less than 15 seconds left, a lot of times your guys are more focused, in this case the girls, are more focused on where the person's at. They're not so much, they're more focused on where the time is at. They're not so much focused on who's in their area, who they're supposed to be guarding, who they're supposed to be handing off to somebody else. In that situation, Dawkins just goes, well, nobody's here, so let me take this spot.
Miss of the first as she got a double iron and it rolled off. Second one, nice adjustment. 5-point lead with 4.4 ticks left. Ball inbounded. Miller's going to get a look, and it gets bailed out by a foul. Boy, an off-balance 26 or 27-foot shot. You got to just let her take it and say, hey, if I make it, I got to just tip my hat.
I tell you what, and as a senior, Ellie's going to look back on that one and say, you know, that one may have been one of the worst fouls I could have given to her, especially with that much time left. Now, on the flip side of it, watch Sarah Miller get to that free throw line. She gets to that free throw line as soon as she's fouled, quicker than anybody has time to even make the call to the scores table.
And she's got 2 for 2 at the free throw line. And again, she's probably back with those 2 makes, only around 50% on the night. But these 3 points are huge turnaround here. As Walker's going to launch it from half court. Just a little bit short at the end of 3. It's a 2-point ball game. And the Lady Dukes 38 and 36 for the Lady Panthers. Back in a moment for the Final 8 on Bay County TV.
Where did this rash come from? Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs. Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart advanced.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Back here for the final 8 minutes. Garber by 2. Jeff Doan and TJ Newsham, along with Jared and Natalie Doan on the camera. Nick Page producing and directing. This ought to be a fun finish.
I tell you what, we thought the Dukes were going to run away with it. They got that 4 quick points there in the third quarter, the start of the third quarter, to go up by 14. And I tell you what, credit the Panthers. Credit their entire team, not just Sarah Miller. Credit the entire Panther team. They battled their way back. And here they are.
Nice job by Dawkins defensively. Leaving Miller wide open, though, for a 3-ball. She misses that, which is uncharacteristic. Fight for the loose change on the floor. Miller's going to get another opportunity. Look at the soft touch on the 3 and a 1-point lead.
You got a shooter's roll there. And I tell you what, there's Walker for the Dukes there. The freshman is going to have to remember not to leave number 1. Don't leave number 1.
As it's down the floor, and it will stay in the Lady Panthers zone with just 35 ticks gone here in the fourth quarter.
I love it when we get officials that look at each other, communicate with each other, so that everyone's on the same page and we're making sure we're getting the right call.
Trying to move into the offensive zone again. Great pressure by the Lady Dukes. As again, they are stopping the penetration to the hole. And another beautiful look, and that's probably the 4th or 5th easy bunny that Jarboe has not been able to finish on.
You couldn't have asked for a better look for Birch Run. Nobody was on the weak side. Everyone's focusing on the top of the three-point line, especially with Sarah up there. And she was wide open on the backside a couple of times, as you mentioned, 3 or 4 times now.
Trying to slide that ball around. Jacek up top. The skip pass to Walker. Walker out, Ellie Klein wide open for the 3-ball with an answer, a senior answer, and a 2-point Garber Duke lead as we've played a minute and a half of our fourth quarter.
Watching the time, I'm waiting to find out how long they're going to hold off Baranski on the bench right now. She's sitting down there with 4 fouls and is definitely a player that has had a great game so far. As Sarah Miller, speaking of great games, she is going to make this fourth quarter a one to remember.
Well, you got to watch her. She clears out with that off arm to give herself a little bit of space. Jacek tried to get an answer at the other end. A backside rebound by Sarah Miller. Knotted up here at 41 with 6 minutes left in the game. A little shot goes up, but great position for the rebound and the putback by Emma.
Yeah, I tell you what. It goes back. Ooh, a little foul, a little nickel dimer.
And that's the 4th foul, I believe, on Bolton.
That's going to be team foul number 4 here in the second half, so they got a couple more fouls to give. However, you don't really want to put anybody at the free throw line in a game like this.
So as they come back.
Still run 2-3, little extended.
That's all right. Got to have patience.
Swinging the ball right now would be good. There you go. Looking down low. Dawkins again trying to find a little gap. Sarah Miller's too good. She's too good of a player to try and make a pass.
She baited that pass.
Absolutely she did. She knows what's going on. She knows where she's at.
Into the front court. Birch Run Lady Panthers by a deuce. Sarah Miller gets the ball back to M. Miller. Dawkins just all over her defensively. Nice job by the freshman Walker. Knew exactly where her person she was guarding was at. And we're going to have a blocking foul. We're going to go against Emma.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Jabot, but no, we're going to Mickelhargy.
Yes, indeed. It's Emma.
Emma Mack.
And I think we're going to have a timeout on the floor as the Panthers are going to take a break. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment on Bay County TV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back on Bay County TV, 5:01 left in the fourth quarter. The Dukes down by a deuce. They'll have their hands on the ball. As this one looks like, TJ, it's going to be a nail-biter right down to the last possession.
I tell you what, you come out of a possession like this, you've got to make sure, out of a timeout, you got to make sure this possession is exactly what you wanted. If you drew something up, make sure it's exactly what you drew up in the huddle there. Now they're just going back down to their half-court defense or offense.
And again, they've got time. That was nearly a stutter step there. It's a nice skip pass. The freshman Walker loses the ball quickly down the floor, and the ball goes off of. Looks like they're going to call it the Garber Dukes. I thought it may have gone off Birch run, but I didn't have the best angle up here.
Sometimes a player will run faster than the official. And when that happens, you don't have the vantage that we have from up here.
Well, like I told one of the coaches last night in the game, he goes, Jeff, can you watch for that sliding screen? And he says, you guys may have missed it. I said, that's impossible. 3 of us on the floor would never miss anything. And fortunately, he knew I was kidding. There's a nice soft little lefty by Sarah Miller, as it's now a 4-point Birch run lead.
Don't look now, but she has really mounted up the point. She's not done it very effortlessly. I mean, she just keeps playing. She just keeps playing.
Nice little backside. And there's a miss, but oh boy, they had Sarah Miller double teamed with the baseline there, and they let her get away.
Well, this is going to be the part of the game right now where the Dukes got to dig in a little bit on the defensive end. We've seen what they can do, but unfortunately, they just haven't been able to do anything offensively.
You're not going to beat her down the floor. Going to the hole, she'll earn 2 as Emmy Miller will pick up the foul. And she looks over, she goes, yep, I know, that's number 3.
You know, also was a good foul. Let's put them to the free throw line. They haven't had a lot of success at the free throw line. But more importantly, for Garber, this allows them an opportunity, whether they make or they miss, an opportunity to set up your transition defense. Try to create something off the defensive end of it.
Dawkins with a soft shot gets the first to roll.
Tell you what, she's not getting shortchanged on that rim right now. That rim knows exactly that Dawkins at the free throw line because she's touching every part of it.
Well, even on her shots down here in the first half, she was getting multiple pieces of iron, and this one does as well. But 2 huge points for Garber because, again, they set up their full court pressure.
You know, I'm looking forward to them trying maybe take that pass away, making Sarah Miller not have the ball in her hands. Again, if you're going to lose, you want to make sure that it's not being done by their top player.
Baranski back into the ball game. I don't know when she snuck back in on us, maybe out of that timeout. So we'll see if she can be a factor in the last 3.5 minutes of the game.
I tell you, if there wasn't fouls, she would be a fantastic player to watch. Speaking of fantastic players and fantastic plays,
was a great penetration pass and dish out to a wide open Klein, and she had her feet set, let it fly, and tickled the twine.
Yeah, now they're going to be made real attention to, make sure they know where number 1's at.
And again, down on the floor, the loose change back up top. It goes. Miller thought about the 22-footer, but I'll tell you, Dawkins closed out on her in a big hurry.
Well, right now, Alyssa needs to make sure that she stays on number 1. Don't let her get open. You know, right there is a perfect opportunity to jump that. And when you don't jump it and you give her the ball, that shot can happen. In that quickly. I mean, it's quick.
And she does it effortlessly, too. I mean, it's unbelievable how she's able to do that. For about 2 quarters, she was totally held in check. And then Baranski with a nice job fighting for it. Mid-range jumper with an answer. We're tied up with 2:22 and counting left in regulation.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see right now. They would obviously got Dawkins on Miller and a foul that's probably don't want, and DeJuan's probably going to go, you know what, I probably should have kept my hands inside that time.
Emmy Miller will go to the free throw line, and she'll shoot the 1-and-1.
Lauren Walker checking back in the game for the Dukes. It's important to realize that Sarah Walker has a set, regardless of her foul trouble. And I'm thinking that she's probably played in a lot of games with a lot of time where this isn't new to her.
Miss of that all-important first. Coach Klein's going to take a timeout. We'll take a break as well and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294.
Back here on Bay County TV, tied up with 2:13 left in the game, having to go the length of the floor. Birch run defensively is just going to sit back. Baranski wide open for a three ball, sends it up just a little bit long, but she had a nice look and not able to finish.
I don't think you're upset with that shot, and I don't think you're happy with that shot. I don't think you want to settle for that, but she was open. She can make it. The chance right there, that would have given you the momentum. It's a good shot.
As they come down the floor, Jacek tips it away. The ball goes to Klein. Klein's going to come down the floor as she's weaving. Nice look as she puts it into a double team. And the ball goes back to Birch Run with a buck and a half left, and we're going to have a timeout, Birch Run. We'll take a break and be back in a moment again on Bay County TV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back here on Bay County TV as Coach Kim Klein sends out the words of wisdom to her girls. Finish with a $1:31 left in the game. We're tied up right now. They just need a stop and a good offensive possession, and they've got this game in control.
I tell you what, with Birch Run playing a zone, if you can get a stop right here, there's no shot clock. There's no reason, as we're talking about a turnover, as several chairs were just taken out by the Lady Panther, Miss Walker. I'm sorry, Miss Miller.
Yep.
Yeah. Millers and Walkers, they're all over the place.
Yes. Boy, I'm going to tell you what, she went after that, but it was an ill-advised pass. If you're going to go cross-court with that, you got to give a little lollipop over the shoulder. As now with a buck and a half left, the Garber Lady Dukes can take their time offensively and look for that high percentage and or that backdoor cut, which will get them a basket. But right now, everything's in their favor. As the freshman Walker goes back, Jacek's going to go strong to the hole, puts up a deuce from 7 feet left of the basket, nothing but the bottom of the net.
I tell you what, again, made by the freshman, took the pressure from Sarah Miller, was able to penetrate, dribble penetrate, as we talked about earlier, dribble penetrate, and then find a Jacek.
Just getting the timeout prior to the 5-second call, as the Garber Lady Duke defense was able to make it happen again. 54.6 ticks left. Take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Bay County TV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Back here on Bay County TV, they'll get the ball just past midcourt. You need to know where number one is at on the floor, because you know she's going to be the first option.
Oh, she's going to be option one, possibly option 2 and 3 as well. It's going to be interesting. They got the freshman back onto her.
Well, and you got a freshman guarding her, and that's just a beautiful thing. Fighting to stay in there with her. Tremendous job. And that will be team foul number 8, and that will put Sarah Miller to the free throw line. But I'll tell you, trying to work through that screen up top, got to give a lot of credit to Walker to fight through that.
Yeah, you know, when you don't have that communication quite at the level that you want it to be at, you've got to realize that either there's got to be a hedge there, there's got to be some help there, there's got to be some communication there. Again, if you're going to allow someone to shoot it, you don't want number one to shoot the ball.
Soft shot, not able to finish. Fight for the loose change on the floor. And Klein says we're going to get the possession. We're going to call a timeout. And what do we got here? Do we got a foul called prior to that?
Timeout administered. Good call. She was yelling
He had
for
the
it.
closed fist, though,
He
so
did.
he had something. And what was the timing on that? Obviously, they got together for a minute and they talked it over. With 36 ticks left in a 1-point lead, you want to hold that ball as long as you can. You've got to tell your people, hold on to that ball and absolutely cherish this possession. This is the most important possession of some of those young kids' career right now.
It's not going to be holding on to the ball. It's going to be being strong with the ball. Whoever has the ball. Now, they got their numbers. They know who the top free throw shooters are. That's where you want the ball. Right now, Ellie Klein, get the ball into her hands. Let the senior take it. She's going to be strong with it. Baranski's another one I would like. I tell you what, the way Lauren Walker's playing, I wouldn't be afraid to put it into the freshman's hands. Now, Birch Run on the flip side of it, you got to watch. They got a lot of girls with a lot of fouls out there right now. So if they're going to be willing to extend the game from 36-second mark all the way down, that's one thing.
Dawkins back into the game now for the Lady Dukes. And they are going to pressure the inbounds. And here comes Dawkins. Dawkins has that thing tipped away but maintains possession. We're going to have a foul by Bolton. And you're putting somebody at the free throw line that's had pretty good amount of success. She's a sophomore, and these are the biggest two she's ever hit.
I would say that she's twinkled the twine, but she's more or less rattled the rim on her free throw mix.
Soft touch.
Soft touch.
That's the fifth foul on Bolton as well, so she's out of the ball game. 31.2 ticks left in the game.
A little 1-and-1 action.
Nice trajectory. Soft off the iron. Soft off the glass. And soft through the cotton.
I tell you what, you called it perfectly. She is touching every part.
Hey, it's all up there. You might as well utilize it all. And she's all cotton on the second delivery. 31.2 ticks left. They want to get that ball to Miller. Miller's coming down the floor. The freshman guarding her defensively. What a great job until she has that little reach in. She tried to pinch her off and just lost it for a second.
I tell you what, everything was good until she reached. If you guys are watching, if your kids are watching right now, do not reach with your opposite hand. With your wrong arm, you are going to get called 9 out of 9 times.
First of two is good. 26.4 ticks left in the game.
Box outs are key here for the Dukes.
And if she makes, we got no shot because we got a lane violation on Emmy Miller. Stepped over the three-point line and takes away a valuable point.
Well, they're only it's still a one-possession game right now, so they're still going to have to put the Dukes to the free throw line. It's going to be key where they're going to get the ball into. Dawkins obviously just hit the last two. There's another timeout being called by Coach Klein.
Coach Klein calls that timeout as Dawkins was going to get that ball inbounded, and I think they're down to one timeout remaining as well. Quick break and back for the final 25.9 in a moment on Bay County TV.
Hi, I'm Zoe, and today I'm here to change your outlook on becoming a referee. Sometimes being a referee can be hard work, but I'm here to tell you that the positives far outweigh the negatives. Just think of the impact you could have on the younger generation, the laughs you could share, and the lives you could change. There's an unofficiated game that needs you.
As Coach Kim Klein gives final instruction to her ladies, control that ball, and they are going to have, look at this. Looks like Harbaugh on one of his football plays.
I tell you what, this way they can't figure out who's going to get the ball where, and they can't foul them right away. So they got the ball in bounds, got that clock started.
That's number 4 on Miller, as that's exactly who Coach Klein wanted to be at the free throw line. Their best free throw shooter, but it's still a 1-and-1. You got to can. If you can't both of these with 20.9, we got a 2-possession game.
I tell you what, that out-of-bounds play works really well when the clock's running after a made basket, where you're making the defense scramble to figure out who's going to have the ball.
Look at that. Ice water in their veins, all cotton on the first delivery.
Second one important, makes it a 2-possession game with a make. If not, they're still got to make sure they're very, very watchful eye of the three-pointer.
Boy, Clyde steps to the free throw line and buries a deuce. 20 seconds left. Miller coming down the floor. Look at the freshman all over her. 15 seconds and counting. Miller puts up a long 3 ball. Off the mark. Fight for the loose change. Down on the floor. Third opportunity. And they'll come back out with Miller. 3 seconds left. Even if it goes, it doesn't matter. That's all there is. Showing Coach Klein right now as she will be elated at a big Garber Duke victory. We talked to her in the pregame show. That little Irish hop that she takes. Well-deserved big victory for those girls.
I tell you what, I was waiting for the jig. I'm a little disappointed. However, a big victory, not only for the Dukes, he keeps them in the win column, but it's that ever-important victory in the conference at home where you hold serve.
That was something special. We'll be back in a moment to put the wraps on this one in just a moment on Bay County TV.
Ow, ow, ouch! My hip, my knee, my joints feel out of whack. Ow, ow, oh my! The pain, I can't take it anymore.
Back for the post-game show here on Bay County TV. Jeff Dote and TJ Newsham along with you. And TJ, they really jumped a major hurdle tonight and finished against a very good basketball team.
Coach Klein said it before the game. This is one of those mental things, as much mental as it is anything with the Dukes. They're playing a good Birch Run team. They haven't got Birch Run yet. They haven't got Sarah Miller yet. And Sarah Miller's synonymous with Birch Run basketball. So if you're getting one, you're getting the other. And that's exactly what the mental hurdle that they had to overcome. And I tell you what, we love being here at the Duke Dome because we get nonstop action no matter what we're doing.
Well, and we told Coach Klein in the pregame show we would be certainly looking to her at the end of the game because we were confident that these girls would be able to step over that hurdle and finish, and it was just a fun, exciting game right to the end.
Well, she's going to have double happiness because not only did she not have to do the jig that we thought she was going to do, but she was able to watch her daughter. And I know it's a special moment as a coach to have your child, and I know she's a player first, but she, as your child, go to the free throw line, hit those 2 big free throws, make it a 2-possession game. So regardless of what Sarah Miller did here on this end, it wouldn't have mattered, and that's special because that sealed the deal for the Dukes.
That was some fun stuff, and it's only the first of 2. We're going to take a break and come back as the boys are going to go at things, and that ought to be a lot of fun too. TJ, if the second game's like the first, we're going to be in for a great night.
I tell you what, every time you call me and I get this opportunity to do a double dipper, I keep thinking it's Christmas lights, that's Christmas tree, there's stockings hanging up because it's Christmas time. I love basketball, you know that, and I love being able to do 2 basketball games here for the price of 1.
Well, I'll tell you, it'll be a lot of fun. We'll be back for the second half of this double dip in just a moment on Bay County TV.